Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Now, before I get things started, I think I need to explain myself. I do. Now, some of you are aware I've been away for the last month or so, and I haven't released any videos, and I'm really sorry about that. It's not an excuse, it's an explanation. I basically got like a promotion at work, and my new job is very tiring, and it's a lot of work. I enjoy it, but there's just a lot going on, and it's the whole settling in process, and yeah, it's just been very tiring. Not only that, I've got an exam coming up this Friday, in fact, so I need time to study and just to get things going. So it's just been a very hassling month, but I thought 1.3 Powerplay is out today on beta, and it most definitely needs some coverage. I can't skip over this, not at all, especially for those of you who haven't got access to the beta for this. It's it's quite a big moment because this patch is considered, as I mentioned in my last update, like the news video that I did, which was surprisingly did pretty well. That was I want to do more of that in the future. But as I mentioned, it was like the biggest update that they're doing so far. And I've literally only just logged on, say, about half an hour ago. I needed to fly around some places to pick up some stuff, and I got to Jameson Memorial, which is the Founders World. Yeah, so I haven't really looked at anything yet. I've been reading through the patch notes, and there is a lot of changes. Plus a couple of new ships, which we will be covering first. But first and foremost, I wanted to cover some of the quality of life changes, which haven't really had like the biggest amount of press, but they really need mentioning. First of all, optimization. This hasn't really been mentioned, surprisingly, but the game is amazingly, like, it had an amazing optimization patch. I'm getting about 23 frames per second more sitting in this hangar than I did before. You're probably wondering how? Well, when you launch the game now, it will actually say like preparing shaders, and it does like a 0 to 100% thing. What that's doing is caching the shaders in your graphics card before you actually launch the game. So rather than streaming, I'm not a big technical person when it comes to shaders and graphics and everything. If you've got a problem with your Windows, I could probably fix it. But when it comes to the shaders and that, I'm really not that clued up. But what I do understand is that what the game did before was streaming all the shaders and all the textures and everything. So as you were playing, as it's procedurally generated, that procedurally generated model or texture or anything or anything like that gets kind of popped up on your graphics card at the same time. So you may have noticed when you're flying around in Super Cruise, you get those random like lag spikes, so it drops to 30 frames a second, and then you just get those spikes when you're going past like gas giants, for example. That's because of the streaming. It streams those textures to your card, or streams those shaders to your card, and your card's trying to keep up with it all, so it causes those lag spikes. But what they're doing now when you launch the game, it pre-caches a lot of the stuff, so you get less of those lag spikes. Now, as I mentioned, I traveled in the last half hour or so, probably did around 400 light years of Super Cruise hyperspace traveling. I did not experience one lag spike like I did before. You know, as we were approaching planets, I got those random spikes. I didn't get it once. I did notice that the frame counter would drop maybe 3 or 4 frames per second, but it was nothing noticeable as I was flying, which is pretty remarkable. And in this hub, as I said, I'm getting like 20 frames per second more just sitting here than I did before, which is amazing. So really big, like, congrats to Frontier on that change. It's pretty awesome, and it's going to be great for people on the lower end with the lower end graphics cards. Like, I'm on the mid-range graphics card, which I'm looking to upgrade soon, but it's going to be great for a lot of people. Now, the second thing that I wanted to show you, I'm just going to move over here. You may notice something different. Yes, we have progress bars. And, I don't know, kind of controversial towards people who, like, the hardcore elite players. Before, when you had the combat ranks and the trade, all the ranks, basically, it just said what rank you are. And from there, it didn't really give you any indication about how many kills you need or how many more trade runs you need to do in order to rank up. But now they got progress bars. So you're able to track your progress as you're going along. To me, I think that's a good quality of life change. I think it will kind of encourage players to kind of play more because, you know, the game to some people can feel like an endless grind with no kind of end target in sight. Now that they've got progress bars showing, they can see, oh no, look, I'm at 96% combat rank from competent. I just need 4% more to get to whatever the next rank is. So it will encourage them to play more. And that's the whole thing with progression systems. You know, when you're closer towards leveling up, you know, you want to play more just to get to that point. It's that kind of classic Civilization, just one more turn kind of mentality going on, which I think is pretty cool. So that's a nice quality of life change we got there. And finally, one thing I wanted to note on was the sound effects. They added some pretty decent sounds. As I was flying along, I was like, oh, this sounds weird, or that sounds strange. It needs some changes here and there. Like you'll notice as I'm going to be playing, the quality, well, not the quality, sorry, the levels are kind of a bit all over the place. The woman speaking, the computer speaking, will be a bit louder at some points than other points, and some things will be a bit loud here and there. That's not my settings, it's just the patch. I think it just needs ironing out, basically. But remember, this is beta, so again, everything is subject to change. But apart from that, they did add these new sound effects into the game. Like when you're in hyperspace now, it sounds like there's a load of lightsabers, you know, that vroom, vroom, vroom going on in the background. It's pretty cool. And just the slight changes, like when you're on the FSC cooldown, you can hear it cooling down. It's kind of got a new sound effect for that. Or when you're fuel scooping, it's got new sound effects, and as that cools down, you know, it's got that kind of winding down sound. You should just have a listen as you're playing. It's pretty nice little changes, and it makes the game feel a bit more unique when it comes to this sort of thing. So I think those are some pretty awesome changes. A couple of things I want to show you. There is a new button on down here. We've got Galaxy Map, System Map, and we've got Galactic Powers. Now, I'm not going to go into that just yet because I will be covering the Galactic Powers thing in a next video because I do need to read more up on it. I don't want to give you false information, basically. So I need to learn more about it. The patch did just come out today, so I need to read into it and learn more before I report back to you. But I will show you some cool things. We've got the trade routes active for some reason. View. Okay. Powerplay. Okay. Now, I will apologize in advance that my mouse does the flicker, like, as I'm scrolling. It just needs a clean. I haven't had the chance to clean it. But you'll see these bubbles. These are all the powers, basically. Whoa, something's going on. As you're hovering over, it tells you like what it's controlled. Each system is controlled by, how much income, upkeep, profit, and everything. It's that galactic power play, basically. So, and it gives you an idea on how much is in control by certain factions, and you can align yourself with any one of these factions. And my mouse, just zoom in. There we go. And yeah, so all of this is pretty new to me. I need to read more into it and learn more about it before I can report back to you. But this gives you a kind of understanding as to what's going on with the new update. This is a huge, huge update. It's very strategic now, put it that way. It gives you something to work towards. But we will cover that in a new video. I just wanted to show you how cool that looks. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, we'll go out of this. Okay, so there was a bit of an edit here. I made some pretty terrible mistakes in my first time round, and I don't want to be giving you false information, so this is kind of like a quick change. Anyway, I bought myself here the Diamondback, which is the first ship we're going to be looking at. The Diamondback is it's a small ship. We can have a look at the outside actually. It's kind of got a because of how tall it is, I'm stuck in the rails. Let me just get out. Come on, there we go. Alright, let me just get around here. Alright, easy. Yeah, I'm just terrible at these controls. Alright, so we got here like it looks like a just looks like a bug, doesn't it? Like a small flying bug. It's got some nice textures on the actual ship itself. We've got 3 thrusters on the back, so it's going to be pretty nimble by the looks of things. for some reason, if I just go down here, you could probably see the landing gear doesn't actually touch the floor at the back, which is actually quite strange. I'm surprised it's actually managing to stay up on that one leg. Huh. Beta, that's all I'm going to say. Hopefully they'll fix that. I'll definitely report it. So we got in here the Diamondback ship. If we look close enough, you can actually see the pilot now. This is a new change that was added into this patch as well. And it's the same when you're flying around, you can see the other players actually in their ships, which is pretty awesome. So it might indicate some cosmetic changes to your pilots, but that's not confirmed. We're just waiting on that. It'd be pretty cool. It's just cosmetics. They'll probably sell it for real money on the store like they do with the ship skins. Nothing game changing. But again, speculations isn't actually confirmed. I'm just kind of guessing here. That's what they'll probably look at doing. But not a bad looking ship. Quite small. It looks like a smuggling ship. To me, anyway. It reminds me of the ship from Firefly for some reason. I don't know why it does, but it just does. If we go into the... actually, first, before we go in outfitting, let's have a look at the jump range. Now, everything I want to show you is stock, so I don't want to be upgrading anything because I want to show you at the stock level. When you start upgrading stuff, things become more varied, and I could upgrade this, I could upgrade that, and, someone else could do the same, but with slightly different modules, and things won't be as accurate. So this is the out-of-the-box experience. The Diamondback has an 11.35 light year jump range and 12.06 without load, and that's not actually too bad. It indicates more of an explorer ship. Not as good as the ASP, but it's not too bad considering how small the ship is. If we go into cargo, it has 0 cargo by default, so you need to, if you want cargo, you're going to have to buy some cargo slots. Fuel-wise, it's got a 16 tons of fuel in the ship, so similar to the Cobra, and yeah, it's not too shabby actually. It doesn't look like a fighter ship, does it though? It looks like an explorer, like a tough explorer ship. And I apologise about the noise in the background if you can hear it. The neighbours are noisy as usual. But we are going to go into the outfitting screen here and take a look. So we have 2 Class 1 small hardpoints on the front. So they're quite close together. I don't actually see where the hardpoints actually are though on the model. I don't know what's going on there. And then we got 2 Class 2 medium slots on the sides here. So... oh, we probably don't see them because they actually haven't got the anything on them. Okay, so they're going to be around there. So everything is focused more towards the front of the ship, and you got the sides, one here. So very kind of focused frontwards, very focused at the front of the ship, front heavy, they say. So 2 Class 2, 2 Class 1s, not too bad. It definitely gives you some more variety when it comes to choosing your loadouts. Very similar to the Cobra actually. The Cobra has exactly the same hardpoint layout. You got 2 Class 2s and 2 Class 1s. If we go to the internals, not many compartments going on here. We've got 2 empty internal compartments, probably for cargo racks. We've got a 16 slot fuel tank, but everything else is pretty basic. It's probably basic due to, I think it is designed as an explorer ship, but we'll have to see. We got 10.4 megawatts available here, so I'm guessing that if we upgraded the power plant, you probably heard that ding noise. That's my emails in the background. Sorry about that. If we upgraded this power plant here, we'll probably reach maybe about 15 megawatts or so. We can have a quick look. Yeah, 15.6 megawatts. So. Again, not too many internal compartments, so I don't think you have to worry too much about your power consumption on this ship. So, yeah, that's not too bad. So we'll take it out for a quick spin and see what it's actually like. I'm guessing it's going to be quite maneuverable, but we'll have to check.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Yeah, this is definitely more maneuverable than the ASP, that's for sure. load of ships going on here. Oh look, there's some fighting going on.
Target shields offline.
Is he wanted? Because it actually gives a good chance he is wanted.
Target shields online.
Oh, I got a fine for firing, but he's wanted. We will kill him.
Shields offline.
So this actually gives us a good chance to try out what this is like in combat. Running out of power pretty quickly on the weapons here. I wasn't at full though. Come on. Okay, not too bad. Again, these are using the default lasers that come with the ship. Everything is stock. He did drop some cargo, but unfortunately we have no cargo slots available, so we can't actually pick that up. I wonder what's there though. Crop harvesters, so not worth too much. We'll have to pay off that fine pretty soon before it turns into a bounty. Otherwise, we're going to have to wait 7 days. I'll go more into that in the next video about the bounty changes. So, what are the speeds and everything on this ship? So we're going to whack everything into the engines and see what the top speed is. It's got 283 meters per second, and if we boost, 370. So it's not too bad. 375 or so. So yeah, it's not the fastest ship in the world, but it seems like it can defend itself. Maneuverability wise, it feels pretty quick. It feels very nimble since it's a small ship. I'm going to start spinning around now just to get a feel.
Flight assist off. Flight assist on.
So I'm guessing it's not as maneuverable as the Vulture is, but it's a lot more maneuverable than Cobra. So you can make that as you will. It's not a bad ship. It feels very I don't know, a bit too classic. There's nothing different about this ship compared to the other ships that are available. If we go into the 3D model outside, let's just take a look what it looks like out here, so we can see all the lights on. So yeah, I think it's designed as a smuggling ship. Personally, it looks like one. It could be a quiet ship. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. I know it's a very coveted ship. People were really looking forward to buying it, but personally, I'm not too impressed. No. But who knows? Maybe you will like it. It might be in your price range. It seems relatively... I don't know. On the beta, it's pretty cheap because everything is cheap. I mean, even the Anaconda is like 1 million credits. So, yeah, I don't know how much this... Oh, I'm too far away. I don't know how much this is going to cost. I'm probably going to hazard a guess, maybe a few million. But I really can't guess, to be honest. Nevertheless, this is the coveted Diamondback. If you do like it, I do hope you try it out, especially if you've got access to the beta. Maybe your opinion towards it is a little bit more exciting than mine, because I don't know, I just don't feel it with this ship, you know, like not like with the Vulture or anything like that. Those other ships had something special about them, whereas this ship doesn't feel too special. It feels like it could probably handle itself, but I don't know. Maybe you guys will have different experiences to me, but we'll see how much it costs when it gets released, and I suppose we can take it from there, really. But, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're looking forward to future videos on this patch. There's definitely a lot to cover, and yeah, if you do like what you see, please like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, fly safe.